Hey guys, welcome back to another video from Quick Freeze's Game Room. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of like a review slash playthrough on something that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard about, and that's the Tiger Electronic handheld games. Now, these things have been around for a long time, and like I said, everyone's have heard of these things. They've seen them in like drugstores, they've seen them in like stores like Toys R Us, anywhere. You can go anywhere and see some of these. And these were like around a lot during the 90s, and most people picked these up because they were cheap video games for a lot of people. If you had a birthday party to go to, you know, your mom or your dad would swing by maybe like a drugstore or even like a gas station or anywhere, you know, and simply pick one of these up. They're cheap, they're fun, and they're not all that great in the graphics department, but hey, if you can find a great one, these things were a blast. And that's why I'm here. I'm doing a review on the Tiger Electronics handheld system, a game called Mouse Maze. And the reason I'm doing a review on this particular game is because when I was 10 years old, I came across this game and I loved it. I absolutely adored this game. I played it all the time. I probably played this even more than my Game Boy handheld system that I had at the time. And I simply loved this game. Now, recently I acquired this game through an eBay search. I was just randomly searching for video game lots on eBay, and I came across this game, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to have this game, because that's how much of an impact this thing has affected my childhood. I simply love this game, and I'm glad to finally have it. So I decided to do a review on this game, and I'm going to do one, and I hope you guys can see how great, or maybe how boring this game is. I know it's going to be a little boring for some people, but for me it's one of those games that I instantly fell in love with as a child, and now that I'm an adult, and to find this game, I was like, oh my god, this is one of those must-have games for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do a kind of like a review slash playthrough for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. I really do. So here it is, you guys. This is the Tiger Handheld Mouse Maze handheld game. Now, before I get into actual review or some actual gameplay, I just kind of wanted to do a close-up of the handheld just to show you guys what it's like. As you can see on the front of the system itself, we have a nice kind of cartoony graphic of some mice on the left side of the system and a giant ferocious cat on the right side of the system. If we do a close-up on the buttons, so looking at the 4 buttons on the bottom of the system, we have 4 buttons left to right. We have the off button. We have a musical note button, which turns the music off and on. We have a player select button. And we also have a start on button, which will turn the system on. On the right side of the controller, we have the 4-button directional pad. Now, this might be a little hard for some people to use, because usually the 4-button directional pad is usually on the left side of the controller. But speaking of the left side of the controller, or in this case the handheld itself, we have a giant red button labeled Energize. Now, this is going to be basically used for like your weapon or your attack in the game, but I'll get a little more into that into the actual review. Now, if we spin the console around to the back side of the system, we're not really going to see all that much, except we are going to see the speaker in the center of the console. And up top, this is where the battery compartment is. If we simply press and pull upward, you're going to see 2 AA batteries. That's right, this thing actually takes AA batteries. We can't plug this thing or recharge it like we're used to nowadays. This thing, we actually had to go to the store, buy AA batteries so we could play our handheld systems. So, and there you have it. That kind of takes care of all the cosmetics of the system itself. So how about we get into some actual gameplay, and we'll see how this game works. Alright guys, to simply turn on the console or the system itself, you just hit the start button. And at the top of the screen, you're going to see the player 1 If you hit the player button, you can actually switch between 1 or 2 players. Once you have the how many players are selected, you just hit the start button of the game, and the game starts. Now for this review, I'm going to turn off the sound just so you guys can hear me. And this is the game Mouse Maze. You play as a mouse and you go throughout the maze. If you guys look at the top left of the screen, you're going to see a number 10. That is actually how many pieces of cheese you have to find throughout the maze to proceed to the next level. Once you find that many number of cheeses, in this case it's 10, you go to the next level. If you look at the top of the screen in the center, you're going to see 2 mouse icons. That represents how many times you can use your Energizer button. Now if you use the Energizer button, your character blinks. This causes you to actually move through walls within the maze. So it kind of adds some strategy in using the Energizer button, because basically once the Energizer button runs out, you don't get any more. So you got to use those sparingly. Now somewhere in this maze there is a hungry cat trying to basically eat you, and your only defense is the Energizer button. So like I said, if the Energizer button runs out, you're kind of screwed. So you have to use that very wisely, because if the cat catches you without any Energizer buttons left, or if you're not quick to use the Energizer button, it's an instant death, game over. So, but like I said, you simply travel throughout the maze, and as the levels get higher the levels you go, the harder of the maze it becomes. You'll get to a part, you'll get to mazes where the walls actually move. Now there's the cat right there. So you want to avoid him at all costs, because you don't want to use your Energizer button when you don't need to. And you simply just want to get the pieces of cheese. Now the cat is somewhere... Oh! See, the cat is right there. And you want to run away. I think I got him with the Energizer button. And that causes the cat to move to another part of the maze. See, now I'm totally out of Energizers. So I have to use caution while moving throughout the maze. Now this game might seem kind of boring for some people. The graphics aren't all that great, I admit that. The controls aren't all that great either, but this is a very addicting game, and it's one of those games where, like, if you screw up or like the cat gets you, he's like, oh, I was like, what the hell, you just want to try harder. So it's very addicting in that aspect. There you go. And then once you collect all the pieces of cheese, you move on to the next level. Now, as you go to the next level, the number of cheeses you need to collect goes up by 1. So now I got to collect 11. And it recharges your Energizer button. So now I can use it, again, at least 2 more times. So there you go, I use the Energizer button to get the piece of the cheese and go through the wall. So there's a lot of strategy in this game, which is really good. It's kind of surprising for a Tiger handheld game. So yeah, this is basically the game, you guys. You simply go throughout the maze collecting the different pieces of cheese. I'm having a little trouble with the controls at the moment. It's not the greatest set of controls, I'll tell you that, but when I want to go down, it's telling me it's putting my mouse to the right for some reason. It's an old game, so I kind of understand that. So, but like I said, you guys, this is a fun, addicting game. Very simple, simple rules. But some of the best games do have simple rules. So now there we go. We use the Energize button to kill the cat in front of us, and the cat basically just moves to another part of the maze, as you can see right there. And that's basically it, you guys. Now, like I said, if the cat catches you and you don't have any more Energizers, it's simply game over. So I'm going to go ahead and let the cat get me for a moment. And that's it. That basically ends the game. You have to start the game all over again if the cat catches you. Like I said, this game is very fun. It's very addicting. And I like how the cat actually has a piece of cheese as part of his graphics right there. You can see the piece of cheese within him. That is because the these things have stationary graphics. They light up when they need to be lit up. So graphics were limited back then. So that's it, you guys. That is Mouse Maze, the Tiger Electronics handheld game. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. And yeah. Alright, so there you go. There's like my review slash playthrough of the Tiger Electronics handheld game for Mouse Maze. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is one of those games that I absolutely loved as a child. And now that I'm an adult, I'm glad I have it in my my collection. It's one of those games that that was part of my childhood, and I simply loved it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Maybe some of you didn't because the graphics weren't all that great, or the sound isn't all that great. I know I turned the sound off during the review. That's because, I wanted you guys to hear my voice. So, but yeah, some people may not like these games just because of the graphics or the controls, and I admit some of the controls are kind of bad, but like I said, it's just one of those games. It just makes your childhood. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you catch you later.